Sorry about that. Welcome, friends. I'm glad that you are here this evening. And if you happen to be watching later, welcome to the replay. My name is Robin, and I'm with Robin's Egg Blue Creations, and I'm also an independent designer with Couture. If you happen to be looking for inexpensive, easy to clean, DIY home decor and gift ideas, you are in the right place. Also, if you happen to be intimidated by a blank surface, I can help show you how to use Couture products to make easy DIY home decor and gifts. So once you hop on tonight or once you hop on the replay, say hi in the comments. Tell me where you're watching from. I happen to be in Central Kansas, and I cannot be more excited. Today is the last day of 100+ degree temps for at least a week. I'm hoping, knock on wood, that it's the last day, period. I don't want any more. It's been hot. It feels like Satan's hard pit, and I am done. So tonight I want to let you know I'm using an online platform called StreamYard. So I'm live in 3 locations this evening. I'm live on my Facebook business page. I'm live on my YouTube channel, and I'm also live in my private Facebook group. I tell you that in case you hear me refer to a comment that you don't see in your comment feed. That person is viewing and commenting from a different platform. Also, because I'm using StreamYard, if you happen to be watching from my private group, if you wouldn't mind clicking the permission link at the bottom of the description of the video, that way StreamYard will post your comment as your profile name and pic. If you don't do that, then your comment comes up as Facebook user, and I don't know who to say hi to. It's not that I'm ignoring you. It's just that your comment does not appear with your profile name and pic. So with that, let's say hi. I see that Jason is watching from the other side of the door. I see that my friend Donna is on. Welcome. I think I've got, before I forget, I'm trying something new. So if you're watching from if you're watching from my Facebook business page, if you type the word home, so it looks like there's a pinned comment. So if you type the word home in all uppercase, you should be sent the supply list via Messenger. Let me know if that does or does not work. I can't guarantee that it's going to work in my group if you're watching from there. And if you're watching from YouTube, the supply list is linked in the description of the video. Bonita is on, I see. She says she's her living room. You're in your living room cutting ribbon for another wreath project. You go, girl. Okay, so while I'm flipping the camera, if you wouldn't mind hitting that heart button, spreading some chalk love all around Facebook and or YouTube, and tagging any crafty friends, and let's get started. Okie doke. It looks a little blurry. So this is what we're going to be doing this evening. It is hashtag, excuse me, monthly transfer Monday. So we're using our Home Sweet Home Club Couture transfer again this evening. I'm also using, I almost forgot this, and I did forget it the last time when I said I was going to use it. So let's get it out before we forget. These are the farmhouse patterns, and they are, I think, if they're not, I believe they are in low quantity. So if you want them, you need to get them before they sell out. I do believe they'll come back in, but I can't guarantee it. So we're going to be using the farmhouse patterns and the monthly club transfer. I'm also going to be using Shimmer Moonlight, Shimmer Harvest, and Shimmer Frost. I do have one more cute little house cutout that we're going to use. I'm going to be using some antique wax on that. And then we are going to redesign on this board and pillar. So I need to take it apart. I'm going to take it off of the board. The nice thing about this board and pillar is that your sign can either go landscape or it can go portrait. So I'm going to put that to the side. And this was last month's Club Couture transfer. But the nice thing about the Club Couture boutique boards is that you can redesign on them. So that's what we're going to do. So I'm going to take the design off of the chalkboard. And I'm going to experiment with the simple shapes to see if we can take that off or if I just need to use the other side. Put this in the board. So my board and pillar comes with a dowel rod that connects the stand to a hole in the back of the frame. If you order one, yours will come with a screw. Mine is an old style, so it comes with this dowel rod that is easily lost. So to redesign on chalkboards, most glass and most metal, all you need to do is spray the chalk paste with water, as long as you have not sealed it with any kind of clear spray. So we're just going to let that sit for a little bit. And then let's do a little bit of experimenting. Let's see if it will come off of a simple shape. It will probably stain, most likely. So I do have a water tub next to me, so I'm just getting a sponge wet. I can always sand this down. I just want to experiment. Yeah, it's probably going to stain. But let me experiment so that you don't have to. unless you really want to. And I should have taken that out. Okay, let's remove that. Okay, it doesn't look like it's coming off, which is fine. I wasn't really expecting it to. I was going to be surprised if it did. So I'm just going to dry it off. I mean, it kind of came off. You could repaint it very easily. I'm going to get my little sander out. Unless I can find my big one, but let's just use my little sander here. I'm going to get my sanding box out. Oh, there's my big one. I just like to use this little box so it catches all my sawdust. I have 120 grit sandpaper on this one. And I don't mind that it looks a little more distressed and rustic than it did. It is getting most of it off, while still keeping most of the white paint. You can still make out a little bit of the lines, but if I go up here and distress it on the top and on the bottom, then it kind of just blends into where it's somewhat the wood grain. Just some of the wood grain is a little thicker than others, a little more distinct. If you're worried about it, you can repaint it. I'm not. I actually think it kind of looks, it just makes it look like it's part of the wood grain. Okay, so now we're going to take, now that this has been sitting here, I'm just going to take my paste scraper, but you can use an old gift card. If you have any of the, you bought your Pampered Chef stoneware a while ago. I don't know if they still do, but they used to come with those little brown scraper things. Those would work great. If you have a scraper for your Cricut or Silhouette, those also work. So I'm just trying to get up all of that chalk paste, and it's, if you get any on your frame, you can just take a wet wipe and it should get most of that off. See, it's coming off of the frame. there to get the rest of that design off. Okay, if you have stubborn stuck-on designs, you can wet these board erasers. They work great, but for the most part, the strawberries are gone. That is the magic of Couture. It is water soluble on all of the Couture boutique boards, most glass and most metal. I preface most because some of the colors may stain. Okay, we're ready to go, just like that. So out with the summer. Oh, nope, you can use, or you can still see the strawberries. So now that it's dried, but with the magic of the board erasers. So I just got my board eraser wet. Don't ask me how this works. It's some sort of voodoo magic. You can still see a little bit of the strawberries, but it is pretty much gone. It actually looks more prominent in the camera than it does in real life. Okay, so now I think I'm going to use the brick pattern. And I have already scored this, so you'll see that it has cut lines. So I just scored. I took my transfer trimmers, and you can just use regular scissors. These, however, are non-stick. Lift your transfer up, and you can literally just score down those cut lines. Let's see if I did this side. So I'm lifting up. Good golly molly. Yep, already cut that one. So you just lift up your transfer and literally just score down the transfer. These are silk screen. They are reusable. They are sticky backed. So because they are reusable, I want to make sure that they get put on the carrier sheet the right way. So I have already labeled the back side so that I know that this is the back side and that the brick pattern goes here and it goes on this side. So I'm going to put that away down here. Because it's new, I'm going to fuzz it, and all that means is I'm going to put a layer of lint on the back side. So I'm just using a terry cloth towel. You can use your shirt. So what I'm doing is just knocking back a little bit of that adhesive so that it's not so sticky that it sticks so hard to my surface that it pulls or distorts when I take it off, because then it might not function the way it's supposed to again. And you just need to, normally you would need to keep in mind where your connecting holes are to go into the stand, but because I've put it on upside down so many times, my stand has worn a spot. So you know what? I'm not going to worry about that. I'll just repaint it. It'll give me an excuse to repaint it. That way I can actually connect it. So never mind. But yes, keep in mind where your connecting holes are. So this has to be the bottom. So I'm just going to place this in here. I'm just going to scrunch it down. So now I have to figure out, I think I'm going to go, I kind of go with these colors for my living room. We have navy accents. I love navy with mustard yellow. So this is Shimmer Moonlight and Shimmer Harvest. So they'll be kind of sparkly. This is a brand new color. I've never used it. So we'll just leave that there. So this is chalk paste. It's just chalk in liquid form. This happens to have mica flakes in it, so that's what adds the shimmer to your paste. Not all of the pastes are shimmer. Some are matte finish. Some are shimmers. But if you like glitter, the look of glitter, but you hate loose glitter, these are perfect for you. Okay, so I'm just going to connect these down. So I'm just taking my squeegee and I'm going to just run it down the silk screen areas. Just covering up all of those areas that are see-through or transparent. The nice thing about these silk screens is I don't have to weed any vinyl. I don't have to worry about losing any punctuation marks or dots to my eyes. I don't have to recut anything if I do lose those negative pieces or punctuation marks, which I've had to do before. It's a big PETA factor. Pain in the making sure I get all the way up to the edges. I can put all of my excess back into my jar. Trying to get all that excess, even up my squeegee lines so I don't have any, because those will dry into your design. Oh, excuse me. Oops. Okay. Let's peel that off. There is our brick pattern. I didn't quite get it even, but that adds character. So I'm just going to set it over here. I do have a tub of water. I'm just letting it sit on the edge of my tub. I'm not putting it in. So I'm going to dry it. Miss Donna said, bless me. Thank you. Donna, I've got to get with you. I have your gargantuan sign in my office. Kristen says that's awesome looking. I'm going to let that dry a little bit on its own. So we're going to add some of the text to this circle, probably the Home Sweet Home. I have one more little house cutout. So we're going to paste that on the house. So I probably ought to get this painted before I start anything else. Donna's goal is to be at the office all week. Are you feeling better? Okay, so I have just some of this antique wax. Yes, it's wax, but it kind of looks like a stain. I may not need that. I just like the way it looks. I have my friend Ashley likes to use it, and I tried it, and I really like the look of it. There's nothing around here that I've used it on. So I'm just using a makeup wedge. Donna says she's feeling much better. And I'm just going to pounce a little off. And then I'm, just so I don't get a lot of paint gooshing over the side of my house, which is what happened the last time I painted it, I'm going to just pounce the stain on. You can do the same thing with the house, with the paint, and then it won't get all over your laser cut edges. Okay. I'm just going to do one side for right now, and then once it's dry, I may take it back off and redo the back side. Maybe not, I don't know. And let's just do the back side. I'm a backside painter. I like that finished look. Some creators think it's a waste of time. I'm sure if I had more volume, I probably wouldn't. But with the little amount of volume that I have, I just take a little bit of extra time and paint the backside of everything, usually. It just looks more finished in my opinion. Donna asks if the house is a Chalk Couture product. It is not, sadly. I purchased these from another designer that has a laser machine. If any of you happen to be interested in the houses, I can shoot me a message and I can give you the name of the person that I purchased them from. There's quite a few Chalk Couture designers that have lasers now, and they are cutting things and selling them on eBay. So I can give you a few names. That is kind of the new trend these days, is to make little cutouts for all of the transfers. Okay, so let's grab our circle. While the house is drying, I will work on this. Yeah, Donna, laser machines do sound like a fun toy. Expensive toy, but fun. I've got Jennifer, when I worked at CJ's, Jennifer at CJ's has a Glowforge and she has an industrial laser. So I got to watch the Glowforge in action. It's pretty cool. I have used this transfer several times, but it's still fairly sticky, so I'm going to fuzz it. Now I'm bringing in my 6-inch simple shape, and I want to find the center of the word sweet. So I'm just going to line up this part of the S with that side of the T. It's kind of how I like to find my middle, and I can kind of see through the transfer. I'm just going to pinch it right there with my left hand to kind of get the center mark so I can see this little crease. And I'm going to use that to kind of center it. on this axis of my circle, and then I'll use these two dots to kind of center my word on the vertical axis. Hopefully it works in my mind. Looks pretty good. So we're going to use, Bonita says she got her August transfer today. So she is I hope she doesn't mind me telling, she is a Club Couture member, so she gets this transfer as well. And she gets 3 paste singles that go along with it. So these are the paste singles. They're like an oversized condiment package. That's what I like to refer them to. But she gets, along with this transfer, she gets Ocean Mist, Shimmer Rose Gold, and the Shimmer Moonlight that we are using this evening. And she gets that as a monthly subscription kit that gets mailed directly to her mailbox. If you sign up to be a club member, it is $21.99 a month. There is a 3-month plus tax. It is shipped for free. There is a 3-month minimum commitment, but you can cancel at any time after those 3 months. Also, as a club member, she gets $5.99 shipping on her first chalk site order of the month. And then, although I noticed something about that though, and then after her first order, she's supposed to get $8.99 flat rate shipping as a regular customer. Also, as a Club Couture member, she gets additional promotions and deals as they're released by Couture. Now, I get this transfer as a designer, but I don't get the paste packets because I hopefully already have all of the tubs. Okay, so there's the word sweet. I'm just using my quick dry tool to dry it. You can also use a hair dryer on a cool setting, or you can just let stuff air dry. It takes less than 5 minutes to air dry things. So there's the word sweet. I just love this font. It's so cute. Very, very, the script pad fonts are very in right now. So I'm just going to try to place home. And now I'm going to just lift it up slightly, and I'm going to use a scrapped piece of backer sheet just to cover up the word sweet so that the rest of this sticky transfer does not pull up that word. And then, let's see, that's pretty good. I was also checking my spacing between words. So I'm just going to continue to wipe this off of the foil. I am a sucker for anything navy. I'm glad it's making a comeback as a decor color again. I've always loved navy. So I'm just going to pull it up gently just to make sure I got all of those places covered. It's a little wonky, but oh well. It's quite wonky. Oh well. You just kind of have to let your uber perfectionism go a little bit. I mean, I don't want to like totally cattywampus, but so I'm just pulling it back. I think I need to move it up a little bit. Oops. Doesn't help that the H is actually cattywampus. We're just going to go for it. So I'm going to lay my backer sheet back down so that it doesn't pull up the rest of that. And I'm just going to cover up that silkscreen area. Put my excess back in the jar. Don't want to waste any of that sparkly goodness. Let's pull that up and see what we have. It's a little less wonky. Okay, so that's going to go back on here like so. So there's that. That is still really wet. Whew. Anita says you've done good. I think it's kind of the H that makes it look kind of wonky. I know the top one's a little crooked. The bottom one probably is too. Ooh, when you heat this up, it smells like a campfire. Okay. Actually, the designer that cut this, some of the designers are leaving this little swoopy thing on there. This designer actually left one of them on there. I'm just gonna pop it off. So I just literally took it off. You can leave it there if you want, but you don't have to. It's pretty dry. Yeah, it feels dry. So let's I'm just going to lay my house down. I'm going to lay it on there, and then I'm going to pick my transfer up. I'm going to hold it up to the light, and I'm way off. I got to go to the right. So you can kind of see through. I've got to go down a little bit. Okay, so there's the doorknob. Oops. I think we're just going to go with it. So I'm going to burnish it down. I'm going to use Shimmer Frost. This one's a bit thick, but I think we can use it. Stir it up and get it a little bit creamier again. I'm down to the bottom of the barrel. So this is Shimmer Frost, so it's just the white chalk paste with the mica flakes in it. And the shimmers have a little bit more of a dry time, so you have a little bit more work time. I'm using the multi-tool to kind of help spread it. Since it's a smaller project, it's nice to have a little smaller squeegee to work with. Here to the chimney. Make sure I have everything covered. Kind of smooth things back out. It's kind of a messy way to do that. Let's wipe that off, and that tool will be clean. Oops. Never mind. My transfer may be slightly clogged because the first time I used it, I did lots of different pieces, and the paste I think dried in my silk screen. So it's not wanting to go through some of those fine details. Right there. There. Very pretty. So I'm going to put that in water and let that get to soaking since a lot of that is dry. Get See if I can get that shimmer navy out or shimmer moonlight out. Let's get this dried. I missed a few little spots at the bottom, but once my transfer is dry, I can always put it back on. See, like I missed a spot there, I missed a spot there, but it also gives it character. So it looks almost like a little gingerbread cookie. Okay, so I'm going to work on my transfers while all that just gets good and dry. Ew. Okay, so let's bring our board eraser back in. So you just need a water source to clean the transfers. Very easy to clean. So I'm just going to flip it chalk paste side up. I'm going to get my transfer or my board eraser good and wet. And then I'm just going to wipe as much of that paste off as I can. Now the shimmers will leave some sparkle behind, but it doesn't hurt your transfer. It doesn't usually come off on the next project that you're working on. Jason says he loves that transfer. This one is one of my favorite of the Club Couture transfers. I'm going to flip it over on the back side to help release even more of the paste. And I'm going to bring in a towel and a disinfecting wipe. I don't want to use baby wipes on these because those sometimes will have a lotion in them. And you don't want that lotion to get left on your transfer. It may affect the stickiness. So I'm just using the disinfecting wipe on the back. It'll help get a lot of that lint off that we put on earlier. And you can leave the sticky side up to air dry, but I have a tendency to forget that they're air drying and I'll leave them out. And that does affect the stickiness of your transfer. So I just put them damp back onto the backer sheet. I also think it's easier to put them down when they're wet. And you'll notice that it has stained, but it doesn't affect the function of the transfer as long as you get your silkscreen material clean. So there's that one. And we can bring in this one. I'm just kind of scrubbing the paste on the bottom of the tub just to kind of get it re-moistened and kind of get the cleaning process started. Help start to dislodge the paste. And you can see this one's been sitting out for probably at least 40 minutes, I would imagine. At least 30, if not 40. And it's coming right off. try not to let mine sit too long. I like to wash them pretty much as soon as I get them done or get done with them. They're just easier for me to clean that way. The board erasers will start to disintegrate after a while. That's when you know it's time for a new one. And you should always have backstock, because I recommend that every time you put in an order, you should order a package or two. They come in a pack of 2 for $2.99. Although Jason can attest, I opened an order today and it did not have board erasers. Shame on me. Didn't follow my own advice. Although I've got plenty. Okay, this one has a lot of sparkle on it. So I need to get a lot of that off. Benita, I don't know if you've noticed, but I think they're putting more sparkle into the shimmers, which is fun. But it does make for some sparkly transfers. But again, it doesn't hurt the functionality. I don't know if you can see any of that sparkle left on there. Benita says, did she read somewhere that you can rinse and squeeze the water out of the board erasers? Rinse and squeeze the water. I think you can rinse it. I mean, I've rinsed mine. Because I get mine wet. Oops, I don't think that's right. Or is that right? I think it goes this way. It doesn't really, as long as you get it on there. So I'm going to put that just down here on the floor. So you're like just rinsing them underwater. Like you can rinse them and then just kind of wring them out. I mean, this water's dirty, but yeah, I use them until they disintegrate. And then I just use like a sponge for my squeegees and color stick or stir sticks and my color trays. Because if you use a board eraser on your squeegee, this edge of the squeegee will kind of cut and tear into your board eraser. So I just keep some of these little cello sponges around. I have a couple by my sink. I have a couple in here with my tub. Okay. Enough of the boring. Yeah, you can rinse them under running water. Okay, let's bring this back in. Let's get this back in. I'm going to take this off. Like when I'm just creating, I usually don't have a tub in here. Sometimes I do, but I also will just take them and run them under the water at my utility sink. And so then I'm just running my board eraser underwater. That way it does not hurt them. So I don't even know why I'm disassembling this. I'm not going to use any of that. Okay. Oh, I got water on I'm such a messy crafter. I'm not a hot mess. I am a spicy disaster. Okay. So let's get our twine back out. I could just reuse this one, but I got black on it. I need to remember, and I can't remember how I did that. So I have to go down through the back, up this way, roughly like that. And then we ran it across the back. Pull it tight. Of course, I'll have to keep pulling it tight. So I'm going to take it back down through, up this way. Easier said than done. If you're twine frays, use some masking tape, washi tape, or the placement tape. And I just put a thing on the end just to kind of act as my needle. Just kind of twist it on there. And then you can cut it off when you're done. Okay, so there's that. And then we'll run this one. And we'll take it same way with that one. Another just a tiny piece because it's starting to fray. So we're going to go down across the back. Oops. We'll go up this way. And I'm going to try to pull it really tight without tearing my twine. So I have a tendency to do that. And then I'll tie it tight back here. Pull it taut. Hold it down with the finger. And I'm just going to tuck those because, you know, we may design on that again. Actually, I'll just cut part off. Okay, so we have that side, and you can kind of pull these apart a little bit. It'll let you. And then it's just going to sit there like that. And then I pulled out some ribbon to make a bow. Get my bow dabber out here. Okay, so this is the I think we'll use this one as the base layer. Start it about that size. We can always, excuse me, go large, or we can always cut it off. Actually, let's add in a little bit of neutral. And this will kind of help beef up the back side or the bow as well. So I'm just going to pinch it in the what I think is the middle. I'm going to put it in my bow dabber. Again, let's pinch in the middle. thing with this one. I may use 3 of these. We'll just have to see. I think we'll just use 2. I don't want it to be a huge, oops, shoot. I already had one. Oh well. Well, we'll just use them. We have them. So we'll just point one of them toward the middle. Put those 2 away, and then we have this one. I'd like to respool my ribbon, so you'll see I have them on flat cardboard spools, most of them. This one is not wired, but it's a fairly stiff canvas ribbon. So again, I'm going to find the middle. And then I have this kind of chambray looking polka dot. And then last but not least, this cute little lace. Just a little dainty lace. And it is not wired either, but it'll be on top, and it will be shorter than the rest. And because it will be in the middle, it's going to get scrunched up anyway, so it'll look floofier than it really is. Okay, let's grab some twine. Take our bow out. Squeeze it all up. Then I'm going to use this to tie. Probably should use a twisty tie, but this will work. Okay. So you're just going to have to keep fluffing and pulling and tugging and trimming until you get it where you want it. And then it's going to get flat again when you put it on there. Okay. I think I'm going to leave these blunt, square across, but I'm going to angle the rest of these. It's just kind of my preference. You can dovetail if that's what you like to do, but I like to angle cut. Whatever floats your boat. And I usually put my points towards the center. Again, whatever floats your boat. So we'll go on this side and we'll do some more trimming. And I like as I go up the bow, up toward the center, I like for my ribbons to get a little shorter. It just gives it a little bit more dimension. So like this navy ribbon will be shorter than this ribbon, which will be shorter than that ribbon. And that helps give you your dimension. I'm going to cut these just a little bit. Jason says the bow is great. Really good ribbon choices. Well, good, because that's what I had in my stash. I don't buy a lot of ribbon. I try not to anyway. Okay, so let's, maybe I will. Just trying to decide. I thought I was going to use the beads, but maybe not. So I am going to wrap some twine around the center just to give it a little bit more definition. It'll kind of help cinch those ribbons up in the center a little more. And then just trying to figure out how. So I'm going to loop this piece and try to cram it into this little hole. If you could see the facial expressions that I think I'm making while I'm trying to get that through the hole. I think I'm going to tie this on the back and smash my bow again. Cut that off. And then let's tie this onto my stand and kind of see where we're at. And smash our bow again. Donna says, so one time your niece was watching you crochet. You didn't know. She said, Aunt Donna, you make the weirdest faces when you crochet. I'm sure I'm making some pretty weird faces. That's funny. Okay, so let's add our sign back. You know what? I ended up putting that back on upside down, but it's tight enough that I don't need that little dowel piece. So I'm just going to leave it off. And then I think I'm just going to loosely tie it. I think I'm going to make a series of knots. It's going to kind of act.
I found this on the web.
she's hearing things. I did not say her name. So this is kind of going to act as maybe a little, stopper. So what I wanted to do. Well, that'll work. So my knots are going to keep it from the house top from sitting flush against my stand, hopefully. So it'll let my house hang down from my bow a little bit, and it worked perfect. So I'm going to tie this on, and then I will show you what it looks like. So I'm just tying it on the back. I think I need to make my bow a little shorter. So that is what we have. I think I need to fix. Make those a little shorter so they don't droop so bad. So there's my little house. Donna says she loves it. So what's this? Okay. I think I just need to trim the bow a lot. Which I can do that later. Or I can just keep going, do it now. Yeah, that's going to look better, I think. Okay. Yep, I like that. It was a little bit too big and overpowering. Okay, so let me turn the camera back to the front. And I will show you this way. So that is what we have. Home Sweet Home with our hashtag Monthly Transfer Monday project. So we used the farmhouse patterns, so it comes with brick, chicken wire, book page, and wood grain. We used the Home Sweet Home, which is the Club Couture transfer for the month. And that is it. And then we added this cute little house cutout. And I do have one more thing I need to show you. I've been talking about this month's customer and Club Couture special. It is the Shimmer Very Peri paste. And I happen to have mine in my hot little hands. So as a customer, if you spend $90 US or $125 Canadian, you can earn the Shimmer Very Peri chalk paste for free this month only. If you're a Club Couture member, you can stretch that $90 to $100 US or $130 Canadian, and you can earn the Shimmer Very Peri chalk paste and a detail tool for free. Again, this is August only. This color is based on the Pantone's Color of the Year. And I happen to have mine, oops, wrong button, right here. And I will show it to you. So here, drum roll, is what it is. So it looks like that. And let me get, if you bought Shimmer Plum last year, let me show you the difference. So this one is very much a plum. This one's very much kind of a grape purple. A little bit of gray in it, I think. So let's open it up. And you know, I'm not a purple fan except for around Halloween. That is what that looks like. If you happen to be a K-State fan, it's pretty close to K-State purple. Let's open up plum and I'll show you shimmer plum and I'll show you the difference. Just a fantastic color for Halloween. Yummy, yummy. Again, I only like purple for Halloween. That is what the shimmer Very Perry looks like. It's only available through the end of the month or as supplies last. Let's go back to our comments. Benita says the project is adorable. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So I want to see what you all do with your Club Couture transfer for the month. If you are interested in this transfer, again, it is only available to Club Couture members or designers. I can help you become either. And just remember that there is the new Designer Access Pass too. You can sign up for an activation fee of $9.99. And then there is a monthly $19.99 plus tax monthly fee. But $9.99, you can't beat that. So I will be live again on Wednesday at 7:45 Central Time. Thanks for hanging out with me tonight. If you happen to be watching later, thanks for hanging out with me later. Have a great rest of your week, and I will talk to you later. Thanks for watching.